introduce our presenter, I just wanted to take a moment and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today and how we got to this point. Obviously, this decision to engage Flynn Wright in our process began in July of 2025. And what Polk County did was they embarked upon a project with Flynn Wright, making a strategic investment in promoting the quality of life initiatives that we've been a part of in Polk County for years, but also highlighting from an economic development stand, showcasing Polk County as a place to work, play, and live. We want our community to be a choice community, to be chosen to invest and grow businesses and retain talent. As I've said often, Polk County is in a war for talent. We're obviously trying to retain young people. We're trying to attract new young people to the area. We're trying to retain businesses, but also grow existing businesses. Attracting new businesses is a key part of that strategy. Attracting new industry is a key part of that strategy. Quality jobs and high incomes are the objective. We know that we've been successful when we see our tax base grow. As Polk County tries to grow to be a community of more than 1 million people over the next decade, we know that we're going to be asked as local government to do more with less. And part of that is we need to create our own investment and expand our own tax base, and that's our objective today. We're pleased to be partnering with Flynn Wright, who I think has an amazing handle on not only the community, but Polk County as a whole, and working with our strategic plan, which is the next phase of this project, along with the economic development second phase of this project. I think we are going to take Polk County in places that we all want to see it go. So Aaron, glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Before our show and tell here, it's going to be brief. We're going to walk you through some of the initial campaign pieces. I'll start with a little personal background and I guess context. Some of you have heard this already, so forgive me for that, but I find it relevant ahead of what we're going to see. So when I moved here 30 plus years ago from Kansas City, I was going to be here for a couple years, had a plan to go to New York. As soon as I got here, within the first year, I knew I'd be here forever. The people of this community, the business leaders, quality of life, the opportunity, sheer opportunity for success was apparent to me 33 years ago. As a business owner here in Polk County for 3 decades, I see firsthand the value of this community when we see people come in. So more than half of our work comes from outside of this community, outside of Polk County in Iowa. That means we have a lot of people come to Des Moines and experience it, and it's a really rewarding process to watch people from New York or from Arizona or from California come in. And that informed our point of view on this campaign, this economic development positioning campaign. So we appreciate the opportunity to work on it with you. Luke, if you want to go through a couple initial points of order on our strategy. So the objective here, I think Matt was alluding to this, is to demonstrate to Polk County residents the positive initiatives that are taking place all over our community, and then that leads into driving economic development, retaining talent, attracting people. I have more than 100 employees. More and more we're bringing people outside of the community to work at our business here in Polk County. The audience here for this campaign is going to be all residents. We're primarily targeting 45 plus civic-minded people. Positions and placements we'll have in the next 2 months. We'll zero in on them. A lot of broadcast news across all the networks here locally. There'll be some organic, paid social, work with the internal team to help with that too. There'll be some demand gen with Google, organic web, et cetera. And we'll of course utilize your own channel of your website. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll report out on some KPIs of impressions, web leads. We'll be able to track what kind of exposure this message is getting as we kind of set the stage for what may take place in 2026. So this is phase one today, and this is early November into late December. There'll be some planning for next year up ahead. So, first piece here is going to be the anthem video. This is just a little more than 2 minutes, and it serves to frame what we have here, the amazing product that exists here. Our campaign points at specific things that the county is actively investing in and supporting, and we're zeroing in on things that touch the most people. So wide-reaching entities and initiatives here in central Iowa and Polk County that have the most impact. And this is the stage setter. So go ahead, Luke.
Central Iowa, the heart of our state, and the home base where everything from great beginnings to greater progress grows. There's so much to be proud of. Our values, offerings, and accolades. What we have here is not something people find every day. It takes work and leadership to see it through. The heart of our community, our people, and our leaders in Polk County are committed individuals centered on progress and growing opportunity. And it's working. Again and again, we see Central Iowa ranked as a top place to live and work. That's because together, we're united in an effort to make what's great about our community even better. We're working together to jumpstart big opportunities, like leading the way on expanding and modernizing the Des Moines Airport. This major Polk County project not only provides a new terminal building, improves sustainability features, and better parking options, it also creates more than 7,000 jobs across the region. The community is also playing a major role in the expansion of the Blank Park Zoo, one of Central Iowa's largest regional attractions. Thanks to a substantial community gift, the new and improved facility will continue to create more spaces and sites for families near and far to enjoy. The people and leaders of Polk County are not stopping there. Our 500 miles of connected trails in the metro area are the envy of cities everywhere. That's why we're investing in expanding and improving this world-class amenity, creating even more opportunities to enjoy the outdoors. All of this is just the beginning of a new chapter in our community's ongoing progress. We have plans to create systems to quickly elevate water quality, continue supporting safety programs in our schools, improve mental health outcomes, help address the housing crisis, and so much more. Because that's what this community is all about, supporting those around us, making changes, and expanding future growth. The best way to celebrate what we've built is to continue centering ourselves and our leadership around our progress as a community. Together, we know what it takes to foster that community, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're just getting started. Great message about people and leaders working together for progress, touching on the things that affect the most people, go to quality of life, and support the kind of progress and growth that we want and need in our community. With your permission, I'm going to use that as a commercial when we're recruiting for employees from outside of Iowa. Might even use it sometimes with clients that we're prospecting with outside of Iowa, because it's a tremendous story about what we have here. So that anthem video next week will show up on your website. You have a lot of built-in daily traffic for obvious reasons, so everybody that comes to the Polk County website will have a chance to interact with that. We'll also push that video out via some social channels. Any number of your partners, several referenced in the video, will play a role in pushing that out, and we'll work to get that message out across the community over the next 6 to 7 weeks so we can begin to lay the groundwork for the overall campaign and the future of where we're going. There's another component of this. You want to go next? So this will be 30-second television, and this is the piece that will reach the large audiences that we want to deliver over the next 2 months across all of the local broadcasters with news placements, some big positions in college football, golf, et cetera. So we'll have some nice audiences that'll hear this. It's a cut down message of the 2-minute commercial, but in 30 seconds. So go ahead, Luke.
centered on progress. It's a vision for what our community is and continues to be. It's what drives the leaders of Polk County to work together on important expansions for our community, like the Des Moines Airport, our world-class trails, and the Blank Park Zoo. Our leaders are determined to make what's promising about Central Iowa even better, improving our water quality, addressing our health issues, and so much more. When all of us are centered on progress, the future is bright.
Okay, you also, if you want to go to the next here. So we prepared a theme and language guide for this campaign as a starting point. Polk County has a great internal team, communications team, so we're looking to align this messaging on progress and economic development with the efforts of the internal team as they push out content and follow up on with press and media. It offers a little guidance in terms of the messaging, the focal points, the idea of working together, people and leaders, et cetera. So this has been made available to all of your staff in that capacity, and it gives them some resources and some guidance for an integrated campaign going forward. And then this piece will wrap here in the next couple of days. There'll be a community update booklet. So think about this as a partner piece to what the video does. It goes a little deeper in some of those big demonstrations of trails, amazing Des Moines Airport, your investments in things like the zoo. It tells a deeper story with more information and numbers regarding the economic impact and the overall impact to residents in the community. We'll make this available to everybody, the entire leadership team here at the county. When you go out and speak to groups, interact with the community, it'll be a nice resource piece that you can share, and it provides a more complete story on the kinds of things that we're doing under this Centered of Progress movement. And then finally, the last piece of it in terms of the outreach is a series of digital ads. It's just a sampling of what it'll be. We expect this to grow. Basically, all of the demonstrations, all of the things that you guys are leaning into, we'll push out with the paid digital campaign, providing an opportunity then for people that interact with these display ads and pre-roll to go and experience the full video piece, the full narrative, and continue on. So with that, I guess I will, unless Matt or Frank, if you have anything else you want to add, available for any questions. How would you like to take this?
Yeah, I think what I would just do at this time is compliment you on the work and your ability to kind of capture some of the exciting things about Polk County right now. And as we look to the future and as we try to, as I say, reiterate that this is a great place to do business, it's a great place to live. You know, we're hoping at that 45 plus to get to the decision makers, clearly. Have you had any feedback at this point? I know you've had a chance to share some of this, and I know that there's also other elements to this that involve some of those decision makers. What kind of feedback are you getting at this point?
Yeah, so I'll touch two examples. We call it straw poll. I straw polled this message in this video to some of those clients and friends outside of Iowa that I know love where we live and work and come here often, and their reaction is what I would hope for. There's a smile, there's a nod, there's acknowledgement that you guys have a lot going on in central Iowa, Polk County. I've also spent a little time with about a dozen business leaders in the community because we've talked about a component of this where we have an advisory panel that don't have any official capacity but play a role interacting with the leadership as you guys talk about the different things that you might focus on in this economic development effort. And again, their reaction is what I would hope for, which is civic pride, recognition of what we have going and how and why we have an opportunity to take full advantage of it over the next few years. This stuff doesn't just happen, right? The kind of success that we love and the quality of life that we have here in central Iowa doesn't just automatically happen. You got to cultivate it. And I think they understand initially what this campaign is attempting to do, and almost universally, everybody that we've talked to about maybe playing a role as an advisory panel has said, absolutely, They raise their hand and say, I'll be a part of that. This is a good idea. Let's do that. So we'll have more on that piece here in the next couple of weeks as we wrap a few things up.
And again, it does dovetail or complement the work of the Des Moines Partnership. And I think that it's important that government have its own message separate and apart from the business community as it relates to the partnership. Because I think what message we want to send out as government is that we're going to be easy to do business with. We want to attract and grow businesses here, and that we want to remove obstacles that keep people from choosing this community, and having government in front on something like that is to deliver that message.
As a focus group of one business owner, I love that. That's exactly what we want. We want more of that, particularly in an era where competitiveness is up here and it's not going to slow down. The idea that we're working collaboratively with government, with leadership, that's something that we want more of. So I love the sound of that, yeah.
During your 33 years, I'm just kind of curious, spitballing here, have you had other government bodies come to you and do work with you?
Well, we currently work with Catch Des Moines, so pseudo. Occasionally, I have done what I would call a nonpartisan city council campaign, but we have not historically done a lot of business with government entities. Not by design. We work for the Iowa Lottery too, so another one of those quasi. But for the most part, we've existed in more of the private sector, and as I said earlier, the majority of, not intentionally, but the majority of our business is outside of Iowa.
Sure. But other communities are doing this. I mean, I've seen, you travel and you see different commercials on and all that. I like it. I think you guys put a lot of time into it, and meetings and the thought process, and I appreciate all of that. I'm hopeful that it does everything that you're talking about with your outside Iowa focus group, that they are excited and want to come to Iowa. I think that it's something that seems like we've been missing. And so, great message to get out there and tell people how awesome we are.
Yeah, I totally agree, Jill. I mean, it's for sure. We have a lot to sell around. That's what I would say in my business. That's the term we use. We have a lot to sell around. There are a lot of things that we can sell around, so.
And to your point, Joel, I mean, the cities do have their own economic development. They have their own videos. They have their own selling points. So on top of, I'll just use Ankeny because it's easy for me. You have their own sale to a pitch to a company coming in. This is an additional layer to show this is Ankeny, but this is Polk County. Your employees, if they relocate here, you build a business here, you have a world-class airport, you have a zoo, and that's something that a lot of the cities don't focus on because they're only focusing on their city. But regionally, people are coming here, they're going to relocate from any place in the world. They need to see these amenities. I think this is just another layer that helps seal the deal for businesses to relocate to central Iowa, which is driving Iowa's economy.
That's right.
Well, I think it's a great video. I'm still, as I told you before, I'm concerned about the slippery slope we're going down when we have our own pictures in it. And I think it's great that we're promoting economic growth and we're trying to attract and retain, something the partnership does also. So I'm assuming they'll probably use this video when they're out pitching, that they go out on all over the United States to pitch what we do here in Polk County and the cities. I guess we have a new arm of economic development that we're going to be out pushing, and I imagine this piece will be right along with it. So I'm always for expanding our tax base, but I'm not sure this is the right way that we do it. When you say we're going to do this in 26, as I told you before, we were warned with the state auditor that we don't want this during a campaign material. It's probably not a good look, so I'm not for having our pictures out on TV broadcast. I think the material is great. I think the video is awesome. I mean, this is great work that we've done and accomplished in Polk County. To have our bond on the airport was awesome. Casey's Arena is the best thing that's ever happened. I mean, none of these folks were here when we did all that. So I think it's great work, and we're going to continue to do great work on economic development. but, I'm not sure we need to spend that kind of money on TV broadcast. It's my opinion.
And Aaron, the media or TV broadcasts, they're going to be, they have rules and regulations too when it comes, I mean, essentially, they're not gonna be airing it. Once there are declared candidates in next year's races, these commercials go away. I mean, they're,
Yeah, there's some pretty well-established scrutiny of what they view as a political initiative. They'll push back. Believe me, they have in the past. I've been in situations where they ask us to approach this differently. There's a different rate structure. There's an entirely different format that happens when something is deemed political from an outside entity like that. So we've talked, I'll say theoretically, about the next phase of the campaign. We have some work to do. Theoretically, probably is going to be a lot more focused on the entities, the initiatives, and not the leadership component. It was our recommendation, our advice, it was an important phase one component of the message we were going to project, which was leaders and people working together for these kinds of things. Up ahead, we don't envision as much of that, so.
and phase one concludes in December, right?
Yes, yeah.
And when we talked, I mean, the first time we met, we talked about, you know, if you Google Polk County, what do you find now? What do you want to find? And you want to attract people for this being the great community that it is and come and live here. And so I actually disagree and think that we need to make sure that our message is getting out and that it's not being controlled by others.
Yeah, I mean, that's my business, so that's why I'm in support of how you take the story to the people and you help everybody look at a collective goal of good, especially when you have so many ingredients in front of you, right? And I have a personal story around that, and then I run a business that's adjacent to that. So I recognize the opportunity, and in my opinion, there's a lot to be accomplished in taking this story to the public.
So as much as we're setting the table in November and December, then in January, when the economic development piece kicks in, we anticipate that will be highlighting our successes as it relates to the entities that are part of this vibrant and thriving economy in Polk County. So as we look at that piece in the second phase, after we've kind of set the table that you know we're centered on progress and this is our course that we're going, what types of entities do you think will be highlighting in that second phase, the economic development phase?
I think that's largely for the leaders to determine that list. Some of what you've seen, I can tell you this, we will build in some metrics for that campaign that show what kind of outside eyeballs are paying attention to this message. Probably a component of a tracking study for retention. I mean, retention of employees and retention of business in our environment. That's stuff we'll work with your team to line up so that we can come back on a quarterly basis and report on the performance. So it's not just entirely a soft, squishy brand campaign that doesn't have any specific metrics that go to the ultimate goal of, like the partnership, driving more opportunity going forward. I mean, that's the point of what would happen here in the next year.
Right. So entities like small business, like large businesses as well, whether it be a data center or whether it be somebody looking for an expansion of an existing business, those are those kinds of opportunities we want to highlight and maybe capture what the decision-making was for why they chose Polk County.
Right. I mean, I think a central component of the overall strategy, though, is identifying initiatives and entities and opportunities that impact the most people. That doesn't mean there won't be examples of smaller development examples, but we want to start with the things that touch the most lives, that have the biggest impact on as many residents in Polk County as possible. Sometimes that can be economic lift, sometimes it can be an amenity that really needs your support, or an idea like the Casey Center that requires leaders to step up and say, we're gonna go do this. We're gonna go do this because if we don't lead the way, it's not gonna happen.
Perfect.
Aaron, are you gonna give us a proposal on all this?
Yes, yeah, that process has just started, Angela.
Okay, so it'll break down the cost and the timeline and all of that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And Frank, just so that I'm clear, in terms of the investment that we've identified, or the dollars that we've identified, or some of the dollars we've identified for this campaign, they are gaming dollars.
Yeah, correct. So it's gaming dollars, and if back in July you actually approved the agreement with the timeline and schedule, and so I applaud that effort. And part of the genesis of this with Aaron and I is he and I met, and I expressed to him, you know, we have our workforce who wants to be proud to work for Polk County, and I told him my board really wants to work in a collaborative effort to move forward in a really positive way together. And of course he said, you know, I think I can help with that. And that's kind of how we got to this point, and as a part of the strategic plan in doing this. And it was really timely. This morning I got a call from the partnership, and they're very aligned with us on this. And I can't share a lot of details, but there is a major organization that is considering moving their headquarters to Polk County. And we're competing with Indianapolis. And they're asking, you know, what does Polk County do? Why is Polk County desirable? So the timing is perfect, because in order to really help this community thrive, we have to attract and retain talent. This will allow us to do that. It'll help build our tax base. There's a return on this investment. Polk County is uniquely positioned because of the relationship with Prairie Meadows to have those gaming dollars that are earmarked for economic development. And as we move forward in a positive way together, in a collaborative way with our stakeholders, I think this can really have a huge impact. And everyone across the country is competing for talent, everywhere you look. And so if we don't set ourselves apart, we're gonna set ourselves back. And so again, I think this is a great effort. We're so fortunate to have a company that's nationally recognized like Flynn Wright here to help us, who has an invested interest in us being successful, and really bringing it back to public service. None of this campaign is about an individual. I asked for you guys to be a part of it and to be in the video because you're elected by the people. You are their representative. You are the people. So I did want you in that. I want the people to see you in it. I think it's gonna be well received, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, what I like best about working with Flynn Wright is they are a local small business operating in Polk County, in Des Moines, Iowa, and downtown Des Moines. And I like to, whenever possible, do business with local businesses. And so we appreciate your team and the pitch today and the proposal you put forward, and look forward to working with you in the future. And I think this was an important opportunity today to see kind of highlights of where we're going, and I'm just very excited for the opportunity that awaits as we fully implement the campaign.
Well, thank you. The 100+ people that work at Flynn Wright really care a lot about this community, so it's really easy for my team to get behind this kind of initiative, and I hope it shows in the work. I think it does, and I think it will going forward, but we appreciate the opportunity to serve as well, so thank you.
Thank you. Anything for the good of the cause, Frank? Okay, all right. Well, we'll be adjourned then.